you look at the commodity prices around the world. You can buy a ton of reinforcement rod, rebar, in China cheaper than you can a ton of cabbage. There's so much product on the market. You go to any store now and you're seeing slashed prices of, you name the product. Now, on the inflation, yes, it's a Weimar type of inflation. It's not as though in supply and demand, where there's so much demand that the price of the product is going up. What they're doing around the world is devaluing their currencies, so it's going to cost people more to buy things. For example, you look what's going on in Europe. Now that Draghi announced, and they knew that they were going to announce their version of QE, what has happened to the euro? Oh, it's at 11-year lows. No kidding. So now it's costing all the people more money to buy things. But the good
40% of young people are unemployed in places like Spain. We're in a global depression. They're just papering it over because production's been so high traditionally. We've got a lot of baubles and still have food, but even that is starting to wear thin.
They're papering it over with the word deflation. It's depression. It's not deflation. And that's the big lie.
That's right. Oil prices went down during the Great Depression. That's what happens.
Exactly. All the prices are going down, but people are making less and their currencies are being devalued, just like Franklin Roosevelt devalued our currency when they took us off the gold reserve. And remember, the dollar was pegged to gold. What was it, at $20 and something cents an ounce?
And then gold went up after that.
They called in all the gold, and then they repegged the price of gold to $35 an ounce, which means you just lost 70% of your purchasing power. It's called a depression. You go around the world, I was mentioning, at the record low interest rates you're seeing. It's costing everybody more to buy things, but what they're doing is they're juicing the equity markets. In anticipation of Draghi's QE, now you're looking at the European markets at 7-year highs.
Well, here's an example. They had Gibbs, when he was press secretary, said there is no drone program when it was a public program. And it's the same thing. There is no depression forming when there is one. I mean, it's this game of, I'll never forget, they had, whoever that blonde was, Perino or whatever her name is, as the press secretary. And they were asking her under Bush, are oil prices up because the dollar's been devalued? And she said, I can't, answer that. And they said, well, we need you to tell us if there's dollar devaluation, as if, tell us if the sun came out this morning. It's just total mind control. I want to go to some more calls here. Man, I wish Gerald was wrong. I wish I was wrong. I wish we weren't going into a depression. But all the indicators are there. I don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but it's going down. Let's talk to Kyle in PA. Thanks for holding her on the air with Gerald.
Hey, guys. Well, historically speaking, the collapse always happens in the last year of a sitting presidential term. And historically speaking, the collapse is always dramatically larger than the one previously to it. My question for Gerald is, what does American life look like in a collapse of the size that we're looking at?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I have a saying, when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And they're losing it around the world. But we don't have to have it happen like that. The elections are coming up, and no one's really excited that I know of who the potential candidates are, choosing from the Bloods or the Crips, or as people prefer to call them, the Republicans and Democrats. To me, they're murderers and thieves. Their records prove it. Again, look what's going on around the world. Out of nowhere, in less than a year, the Podemos party, they just had a rally over 300,000 people turned out in Spain. In Greece, the Syriza party. In Italy, between the Five Star Movement and the Northern League. In UK with UKIP. You're seeing it, like them or not, dislike them. I'm not getting into that. What I'm saying is, whether it's Le Pen in France, you name the country.
Yeah, it's right-wing, it's liberal, it's socialist. Everywhere, people are electing, quote, radical, anti-globalist, anti-New World Order, anti-EU parties.
So what I'm saying is, to prevent what we can see coming and to see chaos in the streets because, hey, they just did it in New York. Now they got terror response groups. We've seen the militarization of the police.
Yeah, and notice the terror response groups are for protesters now.
Yeah, they said it. Exactly. So what I'm saying is they're putting these things into place because they know the people have nothing to lose and they're going to lose it. What we're suggesting is let's take a different tact. Now, to me, is the time for a new third party. By the way, that's the other way I made my name in my book, Trend Tracking, that I wrote in 1988.
You predicted Ross Perot.
Exactly. Now the conditions exist better than any time for a new third party.
I agree. That's why they don't like Rand Paul and people that kind of represent a third-party movement within the system. I think he is being too political and acting like he's establishment. They're never going to let him in acting like that because they know he's a good guy. I want to go to some more phone calls here. Thank you, Kyle. Great question. Great caller. Adam in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Gerald. First off, I just want to say God bless you guys as well as all your listeners and everyone throughout the world. I know this is an important cause and highly relevant. I've been a listener for a couple of years waking up. Quick question for you, your crew, and Gerald's take is, I've seen a recent article circulating alternative news media on a class action lawsuit against the Bank of Canada from Canadians. Wondering if that's A, legit, and B, if that's part of the solution we're looking for.
Yeah, not aware of what you're getting at, but I mean...
Yeah, I am. There is a lawsuit, and it does appear legit, and it can really make a difference.
Yeah, because lawsuits get discovery, and then that's how so many of these documents come out. As you know, Gerald, recently it's just coming out that basically everything's rigged.
Oh, it is rigged, yeah. But that lawsuit is gaining popularity, and it's something worth looking into.
I'll look into it.
And it can be the beginning of a change. And again, going back to the whole question of what's going on, that people have to understand that it's not. It is bankism. It is the grand manipulation.
Corporatism.
It's total multinational takeover. And between the Europeans, again, going back to Europe, they are fighting their deal with the Transatlantic Investment Partnership, or whatever they're calling it. It's not going to happen coming out of Europe. It's hardly being reported here. And I just want to take this second, or this minute, to thank you, Alex, for what you're doing to wake people up, the crew that you have, the information that you're putting out, and that everybody out there listening to support the people that are advertising on the show. These are products and services that are proven, that are natural, that are for the benefit of everyone that buys them. And it's the same thing what we're putting out with the Trends Journal.
Thank you, Gerald. Yep. Tell folks about the Trends Journal. Let's keep you one more segment if you can do it. Just 5 more minutes after this to finish some calls, or 6 more minutes after this break. But tell folks about Trends Research, how they can get the magazine. Because even if people think they know all this, it's great to give friends and family.
It's trendsjournal.com. We just had a conference here at the beginning of the year of the top trends of 2015. It's been a blockbuster, a 5.5-hour conference. You see from that what we were saying, what's happening, and where it's going. Again, here are the facts. The facts are this. You look at the declining wages in this country. It's a fact. You look at median household income below 1999 levels. It's a fact. And as I was mentioning, you look at QE. Here's the deal. When they started QE in 2009, the markets went from 8,000 to 18,000. Who did it benefit as everyone else?
That's right, the insiders. We'll be right back. One more segment for vaccine comments and hit a few other news items. But so each person, just throw out your question, your comment, quick answer from Gerald, and then we'll move to the next person. Let's go to Joe in California. Then we'll go to Rob in New York. Go ahead, Joe.
Hello, Alex and Gerald. Great to be able to talk to you. And my quick question is, any ideas on protecting IRAs or 401ks from government confiscation, or how do you feel about gold and silver?
Great question. Obama did just announce in his State of the Union they want to start grabbing your education funds and taxing them. It is beginning. Gerald?
Yes, you're right. And gold and silver, I'm bullish on both, particularly gold. And again, I buy gold from the golden years. At some point, this thing is going to collapse. You're seeing a devaluation of currencies around the world. So gold for long term for me. And of course, the government will steal anything that they get their hands on. And if there's a real market panic, what's going to happen with your IRA? What is it invested in? And where is it going to go?
Thank you, Joe. Let's talk to Rob in New York. You're on the air. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, brother.
All right. Gerald, so the economy, it's not that great. You know, if we raise interest rates, you know, what is that going to look like for the average person? And is that something just to help us push the dollar towards parity with the euro?
What's going to happen, the reason why I had believed that there would be a crash is because when they raise interest rates, this Ponzi scheme of banks borrowing at virtually nothing and then loaning it back to us at anything they can get, that starts ending, and this equity markets start going down. I mentioned what happened to the U.S. market from 8,000 to 18, the 7-year highs in Europe. The market's gone up 57% in Japan from lowering rates. So when the rates go up, this whole thing collapses, and it hurts everybody.
But if they keep pumping it, then it will have its own set of problems. I mean, it's just
Well, exactly. They're devaluing our currencies, and that's why I'm bullish on gold.
Absolutely. I mean, long term, it just spells massive inflation, but then they're engaged in a depression. I hope that answers your question, Rob. Good question. Leland in Illinois, you're on the air with Gerald Celente.
I want to say that the derivatives market, the two big to fail banks hold over $200 trillion in derivatives right now. They just tied that to the FDIC credit.
2,000 trillion.
Yes. So shouldn't anyone with a 401 or RA, CI, anything, shouldn't they take that now and convert that to gold? I mean,
Well,
and
again,
another thing, what do you think is trending with Russia?
Yeah, I can't tell people what to do with this. I'm not a financial advisor.
You've got to do what you think's best. You
Speaking
could
for myself,
no.
and this is a fact. Speaking for myself, let me finish. All of my IRA, and I have to put it into it because I need the tax deductions, is in gold ETFs. Would I rather have it in physical? Of course I would.
All right, Leland in Illinois, you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead. What else you want to say?
Yes, I'll just, and this with Russia, I mean, you know, the Bible says that the world will have a one world money, a one world economy, and a one world religion. Now, in order to get that one world money, which they have already, the IMF has it. It's called
They got to destroy all the other world currencies.
They got to destroy the other currencies. That's why they doing what they doing. That's why the devaluation is going on. The Bible, what the Bible said, it is happening exactly like it said. It just didn't give us the details of that Obama would do this and it would cause this, and that George Bush would do this and it would cause this.
Well, there's no doubt it's serious.
Let me answer that. You mentioned Russia. Russia's been buying gold like there's no tomorrow.
So have the elites. The billionaires have been buying it while saying we're idiots to get it.
Oh, and I want to make a comment, too, about, you know, your advertisers and what I said. So everybody knows that I'm not blowing smoke. I don't know if you know this. I have an honorary doctorate in integrative and complementary medicine from the National University of Health Sciences. The first book that I really worked on was Natural Healing back in 1988. And if you read the introduction, they thank us for getting so much of the research that went into this book from the Trends Research Institute.
That's right,
So
and you kind of helped kick off a lot of the whole wellness movement we see today.
Right. So what I'm saying is, when I'm saying to support this, I'm saying it because I believe in it, and it's what I do. I'm not like a Brian Williams.
No, we appreciate you supporting our operation. We support yours. We try to bring people the best water filters, the best quality nutraceuticals. We just try to do to others like we like to be done to us. And it's people's buying the products that support Infowars.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And you've got several fantastic websites. I guess TrendsJournal.com is the place to go subscribe. TrendsResearch.com as well. Gerald, thank you so much. We got loaded phones for you, but we're out of time. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much, champ.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to clear the board. We're going to come back with your vaccine stories. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Did they help you or did they kill you?